Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement, getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, and Reader's Magnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on us authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, Reader's Magnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank Reader's Magnet and everybody that's involved. I love Reader's Magnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
You guys, welcome to the Festival of Storytellers today, and thank you so much for tuning into my personal author booth today. So listen, I am author Tish Barnhardt. I am the author of So You Want to Be a First Lady, okay, as well as Morning Tea with the King. And so today I want to introduce you guys to the two books, of course, that I have written, as well as I have a treat for you. I am going to read a section of So You Want to Be a First Lady. So You Want to Be a First Lady. Let's start with that one. Okay. It's right behind me, by the way, on the screen. So it is a cautionary tale, okay, of a first lady. And she finds herself married to a prominent pastor, right? And so with that came a lot of shenanigans and things that she did not bargain for. So I want to give you guys a little treat today. So before we get into the story read, I want to show you the book trailer for So You Want to Be a First Lady. Let's take a look.
Waiting for the book by master storyteller Tish Barnhardt. So you want to be a first lady? Well, her life isn't always what it seems. Beyond the veil lies the deceit, the lies, and the manipulation, featuring the distraught Carol Smith, master manipulator Leroy Smith, and the sneaky, conniving harlots and Jezebels using their immoral, seductive flattery to destroy the man of God, his marriage, and disrupt the ministry. Order your copy now on Amazon and all other retail outlets.
Well, now, after that book trailer, I know you want to pick up your copy of So You Want to Be a First Lady, right? Yes, so it's so suspenseful. And of course, it has all the drama, everything that comes along with that. So, like I said, I had a little treat for you guys today. So I am going to read for us our chapter 2, which is a little juicy read too. So we are going to go ahead and read. Hello, JP. Thank you for saying you're excited to hear from me. I am so glad that you tuned in. All right, you guys. So here we go. I am going to read chapter 2. And listen, if you're out there, I want your thoughts at the end, okay? All right, so here we go. Chapter 2, The Troublesome Sister. The Smiths are sitting at home, enjoying their evening together, when Pastor Smith receives a call on his cell. He says in a frantic voice, "What's wrong? What happened?" "I'll be right there." With a worried look on First Lady's face, she asks Pastor Smith what is wrong. Pastor Smith says, "I'll be back. Something's going on with Sister Nora." First Lady says, "Well, what happened?" Pastor Smith says, "I don't know. I'll fill you in when I come back." First Lady sits down and worries about what is going on. She tries to call Sister Nora, but she does not answer her phone. After several hours, Pastor Smith returns and says, "She is okay. She just had an issue at her job, so I talked her through it." First Lady wonders what type of issue she was having at work that would warrant him needing to come there. She leaves it alone and chalks it up to the work of ministry, as he is always ministering to people over the phone and in person. First Lady then has a feeling of gratitude because her husband is always helping people. Days have gone by, and while they are out and about one Friday, Pastor Smith receives another frantic call from Sister Nora. He gets off the phone with her and tells First Lady that they need to run by Sister Nora's job and afterward finish what they have planned. First Lady is really beginning to wondering what is going on. She and Sister Nora have a pretty good relationship. Sister Nora is always so helpful at the church and comes by their house every week to assist with data entry of the tithe and offering envelopes and help with the kids. First Lady is genuinely concerned for her and asks Pastor Smith, "What did Sister Nora say has happened?" Pastor Smith says, "Oh, she's got a situation at work. You know, she works at a community center, and those people are hard to deal with at times." Upon arrival, Sister Nora sees the truck pull up and storms out the door to the side of the truck. The window is halfway down, and she begins telling Pastor Smith how she could not take this anymore. She's frantic and crying and says, "I just want to leave and move back home." He tries to calm her down, but she has the meanest look. First Lady speaks up and says, "Sister Nora, what is wrong, honey? Why are you so angry?" She looks at Pastor Smith, but does not answer First Lady. Pastor Smith rolls the window up and gets out of the truck and talks to her, then gives her a hug. She finally calms down. He continues to speak with her, but First Lady cannot hear the conversation. He opens the door to get back in and tells Sister Nora that everything is going to be fine. She walks away and goes back into the building. First Lady says, "What in the world was all that about?" He says, "The job is bothering her so badly, and she does not know how to deal with them. They get out of hand, and she has to detain them a lot. It's just weighing on her." First Lady says, "Wow, poor thing. She needs to speak with her supervisor if things are getting hard for her there. But that is only part of what I was asking. You rolled the window up, Leroy." Pastor Smith says, "Oh, that was nothing. It was hot outside, so I rolled it up to keep you cool." They finish their outing, then head home with the kids. It's Saturday afternoon. The Smiths head over to the church to clean and prepare for Sunday service. First Lady is cleaning the bathrooms. The kids are in the back area playing, and she hears the door to the church open. She sees Pastor Smith walk out of the office to see who had come in. First Lady does not hear any voices, so she steps out to see who it was. As she comes out of the bathroom, she sees Sister Nora as she walks slowly toward Pastor Smith with a knife in her hand. Her eyes are filled with rage, anger, and hurt. First Lady begins to get nervous as she has no idea what is going on and how she even knew they were at the church. Pastor Smith begins pleading with Sister Nora to put the knife down, but she does not say a word and continues to walk slowly toward him with tears streaming down her face. Pastor Smith yells to First Lady to get the kids and go into the office. She grabs the kids and Jaira asks, "Mom, why does Sister Nora have a knife pointing at Dad?" She responds, "I don't know. Let's just be quiet right now." First Lady walks toward the office door and hears Pastor Smith still pleading with her to put the knife down before someone gets hurt. Sister Nora yells, "No!" then places the knife at her wrist. Once in the office, First Lady sneaks on the phone and calls Elder Bell, a member of the church, and informs him of what is happening. She asks if he can come over to help them since he lives down the road. Elder Bell is there within minutes and walks up behind Sister Nora slowly and is able to take the knife. What a relief that is! First Lady is shaken up over it. Pastor Smith and Elder Bell take Sister Nora to the sanctuary to talk with her about what happened. They seem to have her calm, and eventually she leaves. Elder Bell begins to tell them that any time they come to the church from now on to let him know so that someone could be there in case something like this ever happens again. A couple of weeks has passed, and Sister Nora informs Pastor and First Lady Smith that she is going to move back home when she graduates from Jackson University. First Lady does not want to see her go. She is a great help to the First family, and she will miss her greatly. However, First Lady understands that the students will have to find their own way and move on with their lives, so she wishes her well. That is the last they hear from Sister Nora. Wisdom nuggets, everybody. First ladies and women, use the discernment that God has given you to know that there may be more to a situation than what is being told. Dig a little more. Ask questions of him and them. Then, most importantly, ask God to reveal to you what is going on. You have a right to know, especially when you see a young lady acting out of character, exhibiting this type of behavior, and your questions are unanswered. Teach me good discernment and knowledge, for I believe in your commandments. Psalms chapter 119, verse 66. Pastors and men out there, in dangerous situations like the one described above, you should always inform the church staff, and especially your wife, of an unstable church member. This situation could have resulted in devastating consequences to you as the leader and or to your family. If situations are difficult to handle alone, do seek the advice or counsel of professionals to help remedy those types of behaviors and anyone else, so that you won't put yourself or your family or anyone else in harm's way. See to it that no one takes you captive by philosophy and empty deceit, according to the human tradition, according to the elemental spirits of the world, and not according to Christ. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Women of God, or people that think it's green on the other side, seek counsel or advice from a professional before you allow yourself to become intoxicated to the point of doing yourself bodily harm. You have to deal with the emotions you are feeling inside and may not want to open up to share, but you need to. Don't allow the enemy to drive you insane over things you have gotten yourself into. Know that there is always a way out through our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He will never leave nor forsake you, no matter what you have done or were coerced into doing. You can find that peace again. For the mind set on the flesh is death, but the mind set on the spirit is life and peace. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed that wonderful read in chapter 2. So, Sam, do we have any comments in the chat or in the section there? What kind of comments did we have? I saw a few flying up, but I tried to multitask and read and look at it at the same time, but I couldn't quite do that. There's one. Hey, Tish, happy to see you doing live. Okay, QR. All right, Jennifer Jackson said, I'm quite interested where you got your ideas from. Well, you know what? So You Want to Be a First Lady is loosely based on a true story. So it's kind of like sharing my life story, Jennifer. And so, but of course, we tell it from a fictional standpoint. And so we have pulled all of the characters in because it's really just real talk. It's real life situations that, happen in many of our lives and mostly in lives of women. Sometimes we experience the infidelities or the cheating or the low self-esteem being put down. So that's kind of where everything stemmed from. But God gave me this book back in 2006, 2007, I believe, sitting in a church service. And I thought to myself, who in the world am I going to help? So hindsight now, we're in 2020. Well, we're in 2024 now, but the book came out in 2023. So it took a while for it to come out. But hey, it's out and it is helping a lot of people. What other chats do we have? All right, Kathy Barnes said, So You Want to Be a First Lady has a really interesting premise. You know what, Kathy? I agree. It certainly does. And guess what, Kathy? Kathy is a character in my book. So you need to pick it up and see if you are like Kathy. Now, she's Aunt Kathy in the book. What else do we have? Any more comments? All right, Chloe Lopez said, true power lies in God and faith. Yes, I love that. It definitely lies in God, in our faith. I'm telling you, there are so many things that I experienced that there's no way I could have gotten through them without the power of God and without my faith. I'm telling you, my faith was challenged quite a bit, during my ordeal. But through the grace of God, I was able to handle everything that I faced with His grace. And not only for myself, but grace for His people as well. So I want to let you guys know that this is something that totally, I believe, will change your life as well. Are there any other comments, Sam? Okay. Let's see. France G said, do you have an Instagram account I can follow, Tish? Yes, it's at Letitia B, LATISSUAB. And also, those of you out there, you can also follow me on Facebook as well at Letitia Barnhardt Vaughn, VAUGHN. So it's LATISSUA Barnhardt, BARNHARDT Vaughn. VAUGHN. So I wasn't able to get rid of the Vaughn on Facebook, okay, you guys, but hey, that's me. So tune in. Anybody else? Any other comments on there? All right, friends. G said, thank you. Okay. Do we have any more comments, Sam? All right, Elizabeth Schultz said, falling from grace is part, I can't see that, par for the course in the Bible. Okay. Is grace is par for the course in the Bible. Okay, falling from grace. Okay, I can't understand that other part over there, but I'm telling you, we've got so many different stories in the Bible that we can glean from. So many different things that, has happened to people that God has been able to bring them out of. And so I am certain that as you pick up So You Want to Be a First Lady, you will find yourself in it in some way, shape, form, or fashion, or somebody that you know. So I want you to go and pick that book up, you guys, at www.tishbarnhart.com. Or certainly you can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart.com, any of the retail outlets you can find So You Want to Be a First Lady on. And so, but of course, if you want a personalized copy for me to sign it, then you can order from my website, www.tishbarnhart.com. Are there any other comments? Because I have an Amazon review that I want to read. Are there any other comments? All right, Timothy Monfett said, How do you keep yourself grounded? That is a very good question, Timothy. I have to keep myself grounded by my faith in God. I mean, if I didn't have him, like I said before, I do not know how I would have been able to make it. And just understanding and knowing that God is always there and that he never leaves. He never leaves us. And so sometimes we can be going through tumultuous situations and different things that happen to us, and we can feel like we're all by ourselves. We can feel like, God is not there, he's left or whatever. But you know what? As the old folks used to say when I was growing up, I was raised by grandma. He don't always show up when you want him to, but he will show up right on time. And so that has been one of the things that he has really, truly shown up on time. When I thought I was going to have a nervous breakdown, God sent a person in my life that really helped, and I mean, just helped to pull me out of that situation. And so I did not have that nervous breakdown because that friend came along, and I believe that God can do the same thing for you out there. All right, Betty Miller said, even the best of us has their moments of weakness. You are absolutely right, Betty. Yes, we do. We all do. So many times, people will put men and women of God or ministers or elders or whomever on these pedestals, as if they can do nothing wrong or if nothing happens to them or whatever. But guess what? We are all human, just like you all out there, so we have the same trials as anyone else does. We face situations, that turn us upside down too, like anyone else does. And so we're not exempt, because the Bible tells us that we are partakers of what? Christ's sufferings, right? So that means that, hey, there might be some things that we might have to go through in life. But the one important thing that we do know is that we will always come out with the victory. We'll always come out on the other side of this, right? With the victory. So, hey, cry right now, but joy comes in the morning, right? I love this song that Ty Tribbett has out. It's called Only One Night. And so not only one night with somebody, okay? But he's saying, weeping may endure for a night, or you can cry, but only for a night. All right, one more question here. Another one. Sarah Lynn says, can you take a little bit more about your writing process? Well, I want to tell you, whenever I was writing this book, it took me a long time to do it, because of the magnitude of the book that I'm sharing. I was always questioning, whether or not I should be doing this book or not, or if I was actually hearing the Lord to do the book. And so with that being said, before I sat down to write, I always prayed and asked God for guidance, on what to share, what to put in here, what would be impactful for the reader that will touch this book, that will look at this book. And so my writing process was very long, and I definitely had to get past myself. So anybody out there sitting on the fence with a book that you might have or something that's stirring up on the inside of you, I want you to know that if you turn this thing over to God, ask for the guidance, he will guide you and direct you on what to do and what to write. Okay. And so it will become a little bit easy for you. Now, I'm telling you, when I wrote this book, there were times that I cried. There were times that I was mad. There was times that I would laugh. But you know what? I got it all out. And for those of you that are sharing a story or something personal that's personal to you, there is healing in the writing. So get to writing so you can get healed. Okay. There is healing in writing in the pages. And so it was really just about me navigating out time, that I would say, okay, you know what? I'm getting up at 5 o'clock this morning, or for the next couple of mornings or whatever. I'm getting up at 5 and I'm going to start writing. And I find that early mornings, for me was the best time, because my mind was not so clouded with the affairs of today. So like, for a person that, may want to write later in the evening, everything's going on. So that part. Would you have any advice for someone who thinks their partner's being unfaithful? Well, I gave us one of that in the nugget, in terms of asking God to reveal to you what is going on. You don't want to be a person that's going to nag so much, and so forth, because of course they don't like that, and also, they're not going to just come out and say, well, yes, I am cheating on you, or I'm having an affair. They're not going to do that. But one thing that you can do is pay attention to the red flags. Pay attention to the red flags. In this book, I give us so many red flags for us women to look at, to know that there is something else going on that you may not be aware of. And so so if you are a person of faith, a person who, loves God, has a relationship with God, I'm going to tell you, he said there's nothing hidden that will not be revealed. And so if you think it, then chances are it could possibly be. But I'm also a firm believer that, God can heal and mend. So that's one of the things that I talk about in the introduction of this book, that as we're reading it, there's nuggets in here for the women, but there's also nuggets in here for the men. Okay. So if the men would take a look at some of these nuggets, I believe that it will make our lives a little bit easier, because sometimes we can see these men or our spouse or whatever running into a brick wall, right? But sometimes they're just not hearing us. And the best thing for us to do oftentimes is to let them hit the wall. Let them hit the wall and stuff. And so once they do, then they might come back, you were right. But as long as you keep nagging and talking, they're not hearing you. They're just not, the Bible even talks about a nagging woman, right? So we don't want to be that. So we have to find another way to be able to come across to our spouses so that they are hearing us, right? And men, I want you to know that you do also have to watch how you treat your wife, because the Bible says that your prayers are hindered. Okay, so we definitely want to make sure that you guys pick up your copy of So You Want to Be a First Lady. I'm telling you, some good nuggets in here for all of us, for pastors, for first ladies, for men and women, all alike, and also for other women that desire to be in your spot. Sometimes people desire something that someone else has, but they really don't understand, because it looks glamorous. Once you get on the other side, it may not be what you're looking for. Okay. So I want you to take a look at this book. All right. Amazon.com, www.tishbarnhardt.com. You can get a personal copy from me. I will be glad to sign it for you. Okay. Kathy Barnes said, where do you find your energy? You are so lively. I feel more alive just listening to you. Oh my gosh. Hugs, Kathy. Hugs. I'm so glad that you feel more alive listening to me. I'm telling you, I was a work in progress. Okay. So I don't know, just now in my life, I have just, a burden has been lifted, when I decided to make a decision, because you have to know how valuable you are. Okay. And so whenever you realize your own personal self-worth and understand that, there's more that God has for you, because I was in a tumultuous marriage for about 18 years. Okay. And I was losing myself with everything that was going on, everything that I was dealing with, but for me, it was for me to step away, because that's what God showed me at that time. Okay. But now I'm not an advocate for divorce on here, because I do believe that God can heal and mend your marriage. That's in my introduction. I'm hoping that through these nuggets and everything that you guys will get, that you all will become with one accord. Okay. And that you will be able to fix the things that are in your marriage, so that you can have a blissful and wonderful marriage that God has ordained for you guys to have. All right. Is there any more questions for me? Because I definitely want to read this review. All right. Sam, can you put up the Amazon review for us? We want to look at this review from Tabitha White. All right, you guys, we had it posted up there because I wanted you guys to be able to see that it actually came from Amazon. So I'm going to read it for us. It said, oh my goodness. Well, wait, let me start. It said, don't hesitate. Purchase in all these exclamation points. It says, read the book in 10 hours, couldn't stop reading. So her review says, oh my goodness, I haven't read a book this good in a very long time. Amazingly good book. I couldn't put the book down and had to finish the same day. This book is so good, I had to tell multiple people about it so that they could read it, so that I could find others to discuss the book chapter by chapter. I can't wait for them to finish reading because it's so many angles to discuss with each chapter. If you're thinking about purchasing, take my word and you won't be disappointed. This book can be enjoyed by anyone, and the nuggets at the end of each chapter are on point. The writing style and content flow is remarkable, well written, easy read, engaging, entertaining. When you finish reading, please write a review so that I can see what you think about the book. Can't wait for her next book. All right, you guys. So that is a review from Tabitha White, who actually read the book in one day, you guys. Oh my gosh. could not stop reading it. She started Saturday morning and finished it by that evening. Well, guys, listen, I want to thank everybody that tuned in today for my author session here with Festival of Storytellers. I hope that you guys are having a marvelous time out there visiting and doing everything with the fantastic activities that Festival of Storytellers has for you. Listen, I love Reader's Magnet. Why? Because they say we share your stories with the world. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Bye now.